Sydney commuters are being reassured that there won't be a repeat of yesterday's rail network chaos. All trains were forced to stop on Wednesday afternoon during peak hour due to a radio communication issue. Well, let's get more from Sydney Trains Chief Executive Matt Longland. G'day, Matt. Welcome to News Breakfast.
Good morning, Lisa.
What happened yesterday?
Look, I'll start with the good news. As you mentioned, rail services are operating a full timetable again today, so customers can travel with confidence on the network today. We did have a very difficult afternoon yesterday afternoon on Wednesday. We had a system-wide issue with our digital train radio system, which was reported through around about 3:45 in the afternoon. That system controls all of the base stations and the communication between trains and our rail operations centre. It's a critical system to ensure the safe operation of the railway. That system was designed to automatically cut over in this kind of incident. That cutover didn't happen, so as a result our engineers needed to manually work through fault finding. We stood up our secondary site, our data centre, in order to switch across if we needed to. The faulty component was found around about an hour later. So it took us an hour between around 3:40 until around 4:40 yesterday afternoon to have the system back up online. From that point, we were able to get trains moving again. But given the time of day and leading into the PM peak period, we did see significant crowding across the network, gaps in service, and a lot longer journey times for customers making their way home last night.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. I mean, the New South Wales Transport Minister was suggesting perhaps it was a cyber attack. Is there anything in that?
Our early indication from our engineering reports overnight is that it wasn't cyber security related, this incident. It was a failed component in one of our IT systems. That component has been replaced and it's operating reliably at the moment. We're obviously monitoring it very closely. We will undertake a full investigation over the next couple of days, including going through all of the logs of the systems to understand what caused this failure. And the key is about understanding how we can ensure it doesn't happen again.
How confident are you, given that apparently there was a system upgrade on the weekend, so whether that had anything to do with it, but I mean, how confident are you to say it isn't going to happen again?
Look, we're putting all of our efforts into ensuring that it won't happen again. We've got engineers monitoring the system in real time to keep an eye on what's happening with the system. As I said, it's a complex system. It connects to more than 200 base stations across the network, the communications network. This kind of incident hasn't occurred in the past. The system has been installed since 2016, so the system is reliable. We haven't had any issues like this. We'll continue to monitor it. We'll investigate the root cause to make sure that this sort of thing doesn't happen again, because you can see the consequences, particularly during a very busy peak period. Yeah,
the consequences, people were delayed then getting on buses. They were being charged hundreds of dollars in Ubers to get home. Frustrating for everyone, your teams as well, I'm sure. But what do you say to those passengers this morning?
Look, I want to say on behalf of Sydney Trains that we absolutely apologise for the incident yesterday. I know how frustrating it was for customers trying to get home to loved ones after work and into the evening. Safety will always be our priority. That call was made that we couldn't safely operate trains for that 1 hour period yesterday afternoon until we had that system back up and running. Once the system was up and running, it took quite some time to get trains back into their usual pattern. That caused the crowding that we saw across the network. I know a lot of customers moved from train onto bus and onto tram yesterday, which caused a lot of congestion on the bus network as well, and made it a very difficult commute home across all modes of public transport. And we certainly apologise to customers for the impact that created.
Could they rightly be asking for some compensation?
Look, we haven't been looking at details around compensation at this stage. The Opal system that manages the fares on public transport is coordinated through Transport for New South Wales. We've been very focused in Sydney Trains about resolving the issue, getting trains operating again reliably, which thankfully today we've had a good morning and we're looking at a normal timetable today. But in relation to any fares or any refunds of fares, those would be things that we would need to work through with Transport for New South Wales.
And we did approach the government to have a chat to us, Matt Longland, but they said it's an operational matter. So the football was back in your court. Of course, if the government changes its mind, it's welcome to have a chat. Matt Longland, thank you for appearing this morning.
Thank you, Lisa.